Hey everyone, it's Jeri Isaacs from Dear Wise Women, and on Clubhouse, What's Your Birthday and What Does It Mean? I'm here on 360 Talk Radio with my husband, Nashville guitar guru, Dave Isaacs.
Hello.
This is the second episode we're filming together.
This is the first time we're doing video together, though.
That's true. We cheated the first time. We didn't let you see us. This time we tried harder.
But we prepped.
Sort of.
Thinking about it. Well, we've been learning. I mean, this is my set in here, right?
Yes.
So this room, this is where I shoot my YouTube videos.
Yes.
And so it's, I mean, as optimized as I've gotten it anyway.
Right. It's perfect for you. We had it work for me.
No, but you look great.
Thank you. So do you. We match.
We match very well.
We don't usually do that.
Well, no, we do it all the time without meaning to, but
We've been married a while.
at least we questioned this time, will it work, and decided that it does.
So here we are, and we're going to do another music hour.
Mm-hmm.
The new Jeri Isaacs Independent Music Hour. That's what we're calling it. So I'm excited. We had Olivia Francis, who, if everyone listened, she was a student of yours.
That was the one thing you didn't say. Did you notice that?
Yes.
You just
so
said,
sorry.
"Oh, she came and slept over," and it's, well, how did this happen? But
I'm so
yes.
sorry. Like to me, it was just of course. But yes, she was a student of yours. That's how.
And do you remember how I met her?
No, I just remember her calling. I remember the story of her calling you, hoping to. She heard you were the best teacher. She was researching.
Right.
And I remember meeting her at Richard's and her going, I was so excited that he answered the phone. But that was how I remember. But how did you meet her?
Well, I think Twitter, honestly. I think she had reached out to me about something, maybe. I don't know.
She's a good social media gal, have to say.
But she was in high school. She was 15, maybe. And she had just done her first album, was traveling to Nashville. And it's funny because I think of her and how she went about doing that. And then I think about us, how we went about doing that. And there are parallels, but there are things that she did that we did not do. And she did it right. We didn't know.
Because she is an old soul. She's been here
Yes.
before.
Mm-hmm.
She's very wise, and she knew what to do.
I think
followed
that's
her
true.
instincts, honestly. I don't think anyone was telling her what to do. I think she was telling everyone else.
But she's also, I mean, they always say Nashville is about people and relationships. And so if you really like people and you're really open to people, you're going to do well here because it's just something that it's the essential part. The talent part, yeah, you should have that.
There's so much talent here and
But
so much not talent. I mean, everyone can make a CD and everyone can do everything. Everyone has their own studio. It's not like it used to be. But here we are. What are we going to talk about today? Because we ended up with talking about Jackalope Junction, our first band, which I loved.
Well, I loved it too. It was still a very stressful time. I remember being very stressed out a lot. But it was really, it was a successful band locally, regionally. We did really well. We had a lot of fun. We had a good reputation. We played good music.
And we went back every summer to do that big thing on the beach for a few years.
Yeah.
So we didn't really cut all ties.
No. Well, do you remember, though, the last time that we played on the beach as Jackalope Junction was when we had our extended family band, which included our friends, not only Al Speed, who was our piano player through the last phase of the band, but our friend Jim Traitline playing rhythm guitar and singing, and our friend Tweaky Smith, Mike Smith, playing harmonica. And
I remember very, very well.
We were told to basically dress up, ham it up a little bit, look country, right? And I think I had just sort of conveniently forgotten that part, or I wasn't thinking that much about it. I just
never
was excited.
really liked to dress the part.
No,
admit it.
Because looking like I'm in costume. The hat worked for a while. It was a good thing for a while, and then it just sort of didn't anymore.
I think it was when that first hat, when it went bad, like something happened.
Yeah, it got
then
misshapen.
I think we never found the right hat.
No.
After that,
Because man's got to know. We told that story already. We don't have to go there again. But Jackalope is the reason we got to Nashville.
True.
And it's appropriate enough, I think, that the song that got us to Nashville is Just Drive.
Yes.
Which was the title track of that album, and it's of the songs of that era, it's one of the ones I'm still most proud of, and that it is a special song to me.
I remember when you wrote it.
So tell me what you remember about that, though.
Because I just remember sitting in the bedroom and you coming in and you were almost crying, going, I wrote this really great song. I think you're going to really like it. And you were almost crying. I mean, that's my vision of it.
I do remember feeling like this is a special song. Like, I knew you were going to like it.
And it sort of told the story about us, because that's what we used to do. We used to love to just drive.
Right.
And we would take those long rides.
Mm-hmm.
Even our honeymoon, it was just one long ride that, that I slept through most of the time.
But that, so of course we had been reaching out to Nashville after the first album because we were a country band, and we wanted to get an idea of, we wanted to be, we wanted to make connections here and try to do something. And that first trip, it was so terrifying because we came in, we didn't really know anybody yet. I had been emailing people from like message boards. This is, 1998, right? So everything is just the beginnings of the internet, but people are communicating this way. And so we had a couple of people that we were in touch with, but I remember that we got this meeting with a big shot at Warner Chapel because our friend Matt of the Doghouse fame had been in St. Bart's the week before.
Met him on the beach.
And met this guy on the beach who was there, excuse me, with these songwriters from Nashville who were performing. And he was like, our friend Matt's like, yeah, we call them the Nashville Hot Shots. And obviously these guys were, we know what that's like. Obviously they're sharp, strong performers. But he strikes up a conversation with this guy. Oh, my friend's a performer. He's going to be in Nashville. Oh, sure, give him my number. So we end up not having any idea that this is kind of a big deal to have someone to sit down at Warner Chapel, big publishing house, and he never listened to anything. And we weren't confident enough to insist that he come sit in the car. He couldn't find a CD player. It is 1998.
Right.
Really, and I mean, it was just so. And I don't remember if we had that awful fight before or after that, but I just remember that when I think about those days, okay, the part that was difficult is that I just felt like there was so much riding. We both felt like there was so much riding on everything. And
every time we came here, it was like every meeting, everything we did, it's like, this is our opportunity. That's our chance. It's our chance.
And that's
meanwhile, we've been living here for how many years? And we're like, oh, yeah, whatever.
And you learn that, there's never that much riding on a single interaction.
Right. But we also met with Reba McEntire's manager. Remember that? We went up to the
top of that octagon, the Platinum Entertainment Building.
To have him say, there's nothing happening in Nashville anymore.
Yeah, well, he sits back and says, well, problem is, son, no one in Nashville's making any money. This was 1998.
Sure.
But, we just, when I say
we're naive.
Right. And when I say Olivia did it right, she met a lot of people and got introduced around by a variety of people, learned what the culture was. And she wasn't afraid. There's things that we both had issues in terms of confidence. And yes.
She was a very confident young lady. Mm-hmm. But let's just talk. You wrote Just Drive, and we just drove down here. I mean, we had been making a lot of trips down here.
Well, I mean, we had decided that we should go to Nashville and see what it's like. It's a music place, and country music is here, and so let's go do that. And so
but we sent the CD out, and how did that radio station, the Phoenix, how did they get it?
Oh, because, when we did our radio promotion, because that was another one of our weird cursed projects, because we finished, first of all, the lineup of that band broke up as we were making or getting ready to release that CD.
What else was new? Every time we took a picture with a band, that's
for
when
better or for worse. That's
the band always broke up. Don't take a picture.
That's what happened. By the way, should we acknowledge our cameo here because he's
Pucci?
on camera? This is Vespucci. Here, let's introduce him because I don't know if he's been introduced. He's only been heard. So this is Vespucci. He goes by Pucci, Pucci. It is not Poochie.
No,
Don't insult
after
him.
Amerigo Vespucci.
He is
the
an explorer. See, we said that right together. I think the first trip was 99, and that was when we had that meeting at Warner Chapel, and the guy basically said to me, you know, I'm not that interested in listening to your music because you don't, he basically said you don't have star quality. He more or less said you're not charismatic enough. I'm not impressed with you as the kind of person that I want to get behind, which at the time was really like, you know, not what you wanted to hear. Well, you know, I'm not that kind of guy. But I mean, I
But he hadn't seen you play, and that's the problem. Though no one.
If he had seen me on stage
yeah,
first,
you're like,
yes.
You're like the Barbra Streisand.
Wait. How am I?
Because Barbra Streisand's is known to be very like shy. Like she didn't have a presence, but when she got on stage and started to sing, that's when magic happened.
Right,
and that's like my mother always would say. They just need to put him on stage and watch him play.
Right.
Because, you know, it's like that's when your whole who
it's
you
true.
are
And I've gotten
shows.
better about that. I mean,
know.
certainly in those days it was hard. And
but if you were on stage, it wasn't hard. It was almost like you were able to put yourself into that guitar player character, and you would transcend.
Well, you know what's funny is that like the stage is why so many actors and comedians and musicians are insecure people. The stage is safe because you can't really do the wrong thing on a stage. You're on a stage. You're performing. So
and knowing you can fall off of it.
Yes, dear. Let's talk about that. My hapless moments. The people closest to me like to make fun of that. You do. Brooke and Rob and Medicine King do.
I'm not one to talk. I would fall off too.
I know. You've seen me fall off a stool in a coffee bar where there was no alcohol being served. I don't know what happened. But, you know, we've been talking about this song. We really should play the song.
Let's play it, and then we'll talk about the reception.
Okay.
All right.
Just drive.
For something to change, but I don't know if it ever will. Every morning I wake up and I say, is this the day we'll make it over that hill? I used to smile with my face to the rain. Now it's only left me tired and cold. We need to steal away together a while. I'll pack a bag, let's hit the road. But don't tell me where we're gonna go, how we're gonna get there. I don't wanna know, baby, I don't really care. That ain't the point of this ride. I'm happy just being by your side. Ain't it good to be alive? Just drive. Passing under the wheels, watch the countryside go rolling on by. The engine's purring like it knows how it feels. Open the top, there ain't a cloud in the sky. Write that black ribbon all around the whole world till it brings us back home to our door. There's something magic in the pull of the road. How many times I felt it before? So don't tell me where we're gonna go, how we're gonna get there. I don't wanna know, baby, I don't really care. That ain't the point of this ride. I'm happy just being by your side. Ain't it good to be alive? Just drive. just drive. Yeah, baby.
I still do love that song.
Me too. And beautiful harmonies on that song, because we all had Deb Novak and we had Catherine Miles on. So we were 6-piece at that point. We went from 4-piece to 6-piece. And it was beautiful harmonies. And
That was one of the vocal showpiece songs, the harmonies on that chorus.
but I loved, like, that song did really well in Nashville.
Right. Well, I was starting to say our cursed project because it went to radio in October of 2001. So we're already thinking, oh my God, September 11th
It was right after
happens.
September 11th.
And then
we were in New York. We
yeah.
were in New York, so I mean, we heard it, smelled it.
Yeah.
It was horrible. Had to cancel a gig that day.
Well, and I mean, so we're going, do we put it out? You know what? Okay, life's going to go on. We're going to put this out. Well, the other thing that happens in October of 2001 is the anthrax scare, where anthrax is being mailed to people. So nobody is opening envelopes from people they don't know. And we just sent out 300 CDs.
Because that radio promoter was insane, and he just wanted our money.
I don't know what happened to that guy. All I know is we were coming back from Nashville when he called and basically asked if he could get his second installment payment early, and could we send it to basically Vinny's check cashing.
Right.
I mean, it was weird. And then we were getting weird emails back. It was a strange
he lost his mind, but
situation.
a lot of people lost their mind in New York
did.
after.
But so we went to a different promoter and sort of continued on into the spring, I think.
But someone got a place in Nashville.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think it was the second round of promotions. I don't remember exactly. But we got played on a station called The Phoenix, WYYB, in Nashville, which was, at the time, kind of an adult alternative. You know, I guess Americana wasn't really set as a genre yet at that point. But I guess it would be AAA. And it was a sister station to Lightning 100, which is the cool, indie rock, like hip radio station. And we did a drive time interview in the top of the LNC Tower in downtown Nashville.
So exciting.
And
because, why?
Go ahead.
Because
same story, right?
I guess the DJ's
daughter
loved the harmonies because it
she
was
liked
like
boy bands.
Right. And when we showed up, just him alone, it was like, huh?
Singing Wolf at the Door and
howling.
howling.
And yeah, can we play Wolf at the Door? I want to play Wolf at the Door.
Okay.
Just so that they could see the difference between Just Drive,
and Wolf at the Door.
And Wolf at the Door, which is what we played during drive time.
But we played Just Drive also.
I think it was on a Monday.
Maybe, yeah.
It was,
It was a lot of
You'll
fun.
You'll see what I mean when we play it. But it's a great song. But it's we just loved the song. It wasn't, we didn't see it as anything that was weird for, I still don't think it's weird.
And I guess I hadn't recorded the song yet at that point.
No, I don't think you had. But we played it. But the most exciting part for me, though, when we got home, was I remember I was working and I was able to request songs. So I was sitting in my desk at a chiropractor office, and I would call and request to hear Jackalope Junction play Just Drive. Mm-hmm. And I'd be sitting in my desk in New York, and then all of a sudden it would come on the radio. And it was just like the first time we heard ourselves on the radio in Indiana. It was the same feeling.
Oh, and you remember, too, that I think while we were on this trip, we learned that we had gotten to write up in Music Row magazine, which is a big deal.
Right.
There's one critic, Robert K. Orman, who's the guy who you want to write about you, and he wrote about us. Now, what he said...
I don't remember what he said.
He said, basically, clumsily produced, but nicely written and performed with heart. And I remember being all, about clumsily produced. But now that I understand Nashville... it was...
I thought it was okay. We weren't the ones who produced that, but that was a reflection of...
Well, sure. But I mean, nicely written and performed with heart. And this is, this guy really is a tastemaker. That was a nice thing. So it's like that...
But we never were able to like monopolize on it, make something of it, capitalize on it, sorry. Because the rest of the band didn't want to leave New York.
Right.
So it was like they were just stuck in New York and we couldn't be stuck with them.
Yeah.
But let's stop. Let's play Wolf at the Door and come right back.
Okay.
All right.
Wolf at the Door.
Sound I hear, I swear I've heard it before. Sniffing and scratching children, don't you fear. There's a wolf at the door. Well, run, fetch my rifle from the bedroom wall. Time to set up a score. He's been stepping through the fences since late last fall. I guess he's hungry for more. But don't be afraid, and no wolf at the door. Listen now, children, to that awful sound. You best remember it well. Evil things come try and tear on down, but we work so hard to build. See his yellow eyes watching all hungry and me. Looking for the kill. Cold steel rifle all shiny and clean. I know some blood gonna spill. Oh, by the dog, come on and get your fill. Listen now, children, for it's best to know this ain't no point of pride, but facing that beast in the moonlit snow. I'm shaking inside, with my heart like a cannon powder in my ears. Swear I was ready to die. One deep breath, I brushed away my fears. I let them bullets fly. Never will forget the sound of a language cry.
Okay, we're back. Am I correct in thinking that Wolf at the Door was on the
Prodigal Son.
It was on the Prodigal Son.
So that wasn't until 2003.
And where did we did we record
We
that?
split that. Some of that was recorded in Nashville. Some of it was recorded in New York. That one we did with the people we had done the Jackalope albums with. We did it with Bob Stander engineering and
Okay.
producing, and we had Cousin Larry on drums, and Bob on bass, and me on the guitars, and we brought in John Widgren to play pedal steel on 2 songs, which is why you heard pedal steel on there.
Prodigal Son, it had some good songs on it.
Yeah?
You know which song I also always really think about, I haven't heard in years, Moment of Grace.
Wow. Oh my God. Yeah, there's the other left turn.
That's
You
what I
want to
was-
give everybody whiplash.
Right.
Let's play that. Oh my God.
Let's play Moment of Grace, only because I think it might mean something now, even more than before.
Maybe. Okay, should we tell the quick story about it though? Right?
Yeah, when you wrote it.
Yeah. Well, because it bears. I mean, it's relevant to the song because the language of it is different than usually the kind of thing that I was writing, and I was reading a lot of Course in Miracles stuff around that time. I think we'd just gone to see Marianne Williamson speak.
But that's way before she ran for president.
Yes. This was when your ex's dad passed, so your kid's grandfather.
Right.
And it was just a really emotional day for everybody, and I just sat down. Oh, and there had been a big blow up in the house. Everybody was all freaked out. And the next day I sat down and I just wrote this thing. Like, boom. I don't usually sit down and write a lyric top to bottom. I think it was very much just, I don't think there was much editing at all.
It was like a stream of consciousness.
Yeah, and I thought, no one's ever going to hear this. It wasn't the kind of thing, like, I am writing this kind of a song. I remember when we recorded that, I felt like we're really going out on a limb with this because it's such a different kind of vibe, and it's so far from everything else on the record, and I'm playing the nylon string guitar, and it's this whole, very emotional, quasi-spiritual thing, but it's a cool track. I enjoy listening to it. I'm proud of the guitar playing. And, it was just, it was an interesting, kind of an exploratory time in our lives, and so I think I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
Let's play it.
Okay, let's play that. Let's play Moment of Grace from Prodigal Son.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Of grace, our karma is burned. In a moment of grace, our lessons are learned. Electric realization, enlightenment comes. In a moment of grace, everything becomes one. Every miserable sinner, every suffering child, the truck stop lotto winner, the lost youth running wild, all the captains of business with expense account meals, all the sun-baked day workers, all the toil in the fields, all the poor huddled masses, all the bitter old men. Every moment that passes comes back round again. Every wrong regret lingers, every debt never paid, every unfulfilled promise anyone ever made. Da 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 da, da 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 da, da 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 da, Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Everyone struggles, everyone falls, one way or another. Trouble comes to us all. Every whispered confession, every confidence earned, in a moment of grace, all karma is burned. In a flash of conviction, in a moment of grace, every prophet's prediction for the fate of the race, like the trumpets announcing as the bright sky is riven. In a moment of grace, everything is forgiven, like the trumpets announcing as the bright sky is riven. In a moment of grace, everything is forgiven. Everything is forgiven. Everything is forgiven.
It's a cool track. You remember how much Bob beat me up recording that? I think I sang it like 20 times over. And he said, I'm trying to squeeze all the emotion out of you. I want you to be icy. And I'm thinking like, well, I mean, it's a cool vocal. I mean, I was really working at developing myself as a singer, developing as an artist, developing as a performer. So there's ways that I sang on that record that definitely pushed me into new places. But do you remember the sessions? We never released any of this music, but the sessions where I felt like I broke through as a singer in the studio were those demos that Preach produced that we never released. Right. And this was like 04, right? So we did Prodigal Son in 03. We're now going back and forth to Nashville. We're meeting people and starting to co-write, starting to hang out. And I wrote, one of the people we saw a lot of was Karen Angela Moore, who had co-produced our Just Drive CD. Mm-hmm. And she and I wrote this song called Fly Away Home. Yeah. And
I remember we wrote that in Nashville. I was there. So
yeah.
I didn't get a co-write on it, but I was there. And those were before the days that I got co-writes. But like I remember sitting at her kitchen table and mm-hmm. you writing it, but we were still in New York because I remember you playing it.
Yeah, we came home and I played it at Nolan's.
Yeah, and I remember like you just playing it, me feeling really like teary because we were leaving. We were getting ready to leave.
Right. Yeah.
And it was
Fly
Away Home. And whenever you played that song, it just like really got me in the gut.
True.
Yeah, made me like think about I was leaving home and just a bit, just what the song was about. Like just gonna fly away home because no one's gonna know where you've gone.
Right. But we know there are a lot of people we left behind that we missed, but it really was a good move for us to make. And it's funny when you think about how at the time, so this is now 2005. Oh, well, I was starting to say that I've done these demos with my friend Preacher Boy producing, and talk about beating me up. He absolutely worked me recording the vocals, but I swear after that I had just sort of reached a new level of authenticity with it. Because that's the thing that's funny about Preach, is that I have no idea if it's if what he does is authentic or if it's a character he's invented, but it sure feels authentic, just the way he embodies it. And I think I learned a lot about that from him. But that song Fly Away Home just has a lot of significance, and we ended up recording it on the first project I did when we landed in Nashville in 2006. And again, this sort of the reset. Remember that in 2005, I was working with Louisiana Red Hot Records going to New Orleans, and we were talking about maybe we could live there. And what happens in 2005, Hurricane Katrina,
wipes them out.
Like the day before we moved to Nashville is when Katrina hit New Orleans. So definitely. I
remember listening to the weather, all the reports as we drove
on the way down,
and all the people who showed up in Nashville from New Orleans.
And how significant is that we have all these friends from South Louisiana that came up after Hurricane Katrina? And it's true that the label was gone after that, and Harris had gotten sick too, the head of the label, and so that sort of momentum that we had from New York was gone, and it was just start over again. But that Old King Crow project, it was really sort of reflective of, well, we're here, let's just start pulling musicians. And Brian Siskind, who produced it, was someone I had met on MySpace. Josh Correa, who played bass, I had met on my first gig downtown. I showed up and walk on stage, and there he is. And now I invite him. And then the drummer happens to play with Taylor Swift now, because that's how Nashville is.
Who's that?
Nick Buda.
Oh, he plays with Taylor?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, no, dude is at the, he has done well for himself. He's a beast of a drummer. But, it's just that Nashville thing. Well, here's the bass player that I brought in from the gig last weekend, and this dude is friends with so-and-so, and that was the place where I went to a party at their house and walked in on Alison Krauss hanging out in the kitchen. Because we're just new to Nashville, like, oh, okay.
Right. You were it felt too funny to talk to her, and you ran out. But
let's play the song. Let's play Fly Away Home.
Yes, I love this song. It's a beautiful song.
Shining, tall grass is waving as the north wind blows. Hear a voice down deep inside, it's calling to me. Get yourself together and fly away home. On the playground sing Ring Around the Rosie. Ashes, ashes, and we all fall down. Mama's lining up outside, they're calling children. Everybody's getting ready to fly away home. Now it's time to fly away home. I will fly where I belong. You know I've been away too long. People there who love me say they wanna know where I've been gone. Man stands on a mountaintop, he says the end is coming. All the people listening, they wanna believe. I don't know where he's leading to, but I ain't going. I never go down that road, it's my life to lead. Now it's time to fly away home. I will fly where I belong. You know I've been away too long. out on a western wind, streams to the ocean. There's a million shooting stars in a nighttime sky. Billions of restless souls go 1,000 directions. They all come together when we fly away home. Now it's time to fly away home. I will fly where I belong. You know I've been away too long. People there who love me say they wanna know where I've been gone. I wanna fly away home. I will fly where I belong. You know I've been away too long. People there who love me say they wanna know where I've been gone.
That one still means a lot to me, and I'm still really proud of that recording. And that's, one of the songs that's been in the set list regularly the longest.
Yeah,
Because I never stopped doing it, really.
Yeah, there are a lot of people who that's one of their favorite songs. I think it could mean something different to a lot of different people.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it from a more spiritual place as opposed to a more literal meaning of the song,
Right.
so people, and...
I don't know if it has a literal meaning.
Well, you're going to go and get on a plane, you're going to fly home.
Right, I guess.
It's like...
I didn't know there was a plane involved. But
Well,
I don't know if it was literal.
Were they going to be a bird?
I wasn't leaving on a jet
Birds
plane.
aren't real, I thought.
They're not. Didn't you know that?
A whole separate story.
Yes, it is. Okay, but here was the thought that I was having about where we should go with this now, in terms of sort of bridging to our next part, our developing life in Nashville. Our friend Rich Adler, dear friend, we've known for years now,
Yes.
has said, remember what he has said, what he thinks one of my best songs is?
Yes, he said every CD you have should have this one song.
A version of
Swamp
Hog.
Swamp Hog Blues.
Yes, which is like, what? Why? What are you talking about?
Right?
This
Which is
why.
the funniest. Right. That was a. But you wrote it after that?
After that trip. So
So
New Orleans again.
Right. We were in Louisiana.
We're in South Louisiana. We had
just-
gone to New Orleans.
Right. And we decided to take a side trip.
We took a swamp tour.
Right. A swamp tour. And just as an aside, we have a very famous relative who we've never met.
Mm-hmm.
Goldie Hawn is your cousin, second
My
cousin, I guess.
mother's
your mother.
first cousin.
Right. And so Kate Hudson is our cousin. And we get to this place where the tour was, and everyone's all worked up. I was like, what's going on?
They're all buzzing.
Yeah. Well, they're filming this. I'm not sure what it was. Swamp Key or something. I can't
Skeleton
remember.
Key
Skeleton
was the
Key.
movie, yeah.
Right. They were filming a movie, and they're like, Kate Hudson is filming a movie, and it's like right down the road. And we had a little demo tape, and after we went on our swamp tour, I insisted that he drive me to that where those buses were. And I walked up, and they're like, "Who are you?" And I said, "Well, my husband is Kate Hudson's cousin, and can you just give her this tape, and tell her that we said hello?" And I'm sure she never got it. I'm sure they thought I was crazy.
Right.
But what the heck? I tried, because it was real and it was true. And she was there. What are the odds that she was there? But
Right.
a lot of things happened with Kate Hudson. Remember we went to Huntsville, Alabama?
Oh, God,
and
that's
we were like
right.
playing and her
son's roommate was sitting there watching
the kid
us. Yeah.
Watching us said,
Played hockey with Wyatt.
right.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, I have my roommate's really famous." It's like
So
Goldie
funny.
Hawn's son Wyatt, and we're like,
Right, not Goldie, Kate. No, Goldie's.
It's
yeah.
Goldie's husband,
Right.
son. Yeah, and we're like, so he calls him to try to come over, but he didn't get there either on time for us to meet him either.
You
But
know-
we had all these near misses. But you know what? This is going to play in California. If anyone knows Kate Hudson or Goldie,
So, I mean, it's a great story about Kate Hudson and the swamp and everything, but that doesn't have anything to do with hogs.
True.
Right?
Right.
So we were on the tour, and the guide was talking about the wildlife in the swamp. So obviously there's alligators, and there's birds, and there's various things. And he's said something about, and a few hogs that escaped from somebody's farm. And I don't know, somehow I thought that was funny. And so yet I end up writing another one of my animal songs. We had the wolf at the door. We have the swamp hog. The thing that's really funny is that whether it was in my mind or not, our one film placement with Jackalope Junction was an independent film called The Pig Farm, which involved mobsters bringing bodies up to this pig farmer so that he could grind them up and feed them to his pigs.
oh God, remember?
And so I end up years later with this song about like a hog digging up a body remains
right. Oh my
basically
God.
in the swamp.
Oh,
But people really like that song, and it's been recorded, I think, 2 or 3 times, and it became a sort of staple for the end of the set. And with Medicine King,
that was his band, a band that ended up being formed in Nashville.
Our Nashville band.
Our national band was Medicine King,
But this version that we're going to play
is before that.
is before that. This is the version from the old King Crow CD. So this was the original version of Swamp Hog Blues.
Right, and we never could get through the pig farm because of they
too-
played our song, where it was the most disgusting part of the movie.
Oh, but there was the chase that they played Louisiana in the scene with somebody being like slipping in the mud.
It was terrible.
It was awful.
It was terrible, but they did play a little bit of our Savannah Rose song in it.
That's right. It was on the radio.
Right.
Yeah.
But,
All right. Well, we're going to play. This is the original recording of Swamp Hog Blues.
yes, for Rich Adler, because he told us to always include it.
Yes.
Black shape digging in the bayou mud, nose for trouble and a thirst for blood. Can't see worth a lick, he's almost blind. He got a hardtack, one track, razorback mind. Swamp hog sniffing in the bayou wind, mean as a gator and ugly as sin. Better latch that gate, better leash them hounds, but there ain't no telling what trouble we found. Tripping on secrets, digging up bones, some things should have been left alone. Fatback scratching on a cypress tree, digging up things no man should see. A high heel tangled in a fishing line, and somewhere a family sitting and crying, holding out hope since I don't know when, but she won't never be seen again. love gone bad took a turn below. And nobody heard that shotgun sound. People been talking for miles around. How a good young man could have done so wrong. Weren't much left for to send him home. They're holding out hope that they don't know when, but he won't never be seen again. Tripping on secrets, digging up bones. Something should have been left alone. Left alone. Should have been left alone. Should have been left alone.
Well, honey, that was great. I love Swamp Hog.
It's still fun.
It's still
fun.
It is still fun, and I might not have initially approved of it, but it won me over.
That's okay. There's a lot of things you've come around to, and if you really didn't like something, you were usually right for at least the thing. Once we pinpointed what you didn't like,
yes,
and why you didn't like it, there was always a good reason.
Yes, there was always a good reason,
and something that we could improve.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is the relationship that we have, and that's why we have been together for 27 years and married almost 25.
Right. I know. I'm at 27, 54. I put I added those all together and realized that I have been with you half of your life.
Right. There you go. So, with that said,
it's
the better half.
Absolutely.
The best half.
The best half. So we're going to wrap this up, and I'm going to say thank you to my husband, Dave Isaacs, the Nashville guitar guru.
I'm going to say thank you to wise woman Jeri Isaacs for having me.
Yes, and Donna Bernard, who's here in spirit.
Thank you for joining us.
And to 360 Talk Radio.
360 Talk Radio.
Because that's where we are.
Peace out.
And I am going to say Jeri Isaacs, peace out. We'll be back next time.
Our intentions were the best ones, but that heart candle. I sit there in the cold night air. Sometimes your perfume fills the whole room, and I can feel you everywhere. Caroline, she's gone again, coming back. She won't say when. Sit there waiting with the evening coming on. Every chance I can find, burned into my mind, lost alone, left behind. Darkness rolls on. Our intentions were the best ones.